guys, so today I'm here again to do another video, and that is going to be a book review for Wintersong by Jae.Jones. I always forget her name. That is not good. That is not good, but I'm really excited to talk about this book. This was one of my anticipated reads. I'm finally getting better with my list of anticipated reads. I'm feeling better about it. I'm feeling not as stressed as I was like last month where I was like, I haven't read anything that I need to read, but I'm excited. This book was interesting, but I expected more from it because of the hype surrounding the book. So when I read it, I was like, oh, that's kind of boring and pointless. There's things I liked and things I didn't. I'll let you guys know now, there's gonna be spoilers in this video because I want to talk about some things that happen that are fucking stupid. But yes, I'm excited to get into it. So let's start with the people who've read it and not the people haven't, because you get spoiled. So let's get into the story. So the thing I really liked about this book is it's a labyrinthian retelling. I can't even say it. The movie with David Bowie, it's a retelling of that with the Goblin King and all that shit. It's a retelling. So retellings, like, I just love so much more. Like, I mean, I just love reading them because it's like reimaginings of stories that we already know in such a different light. And it's just like, oh my god, I love this so much. So definitely love that aspect of this book. And I also read this book as a buddy read with two of my friends on Instagram. So we read it like in the 4 parts of the story. So we read the first one, then we discussed, read the second part, discussed, read the third part, discussed. You know where I'm going with that, right? So really, like, I will probably discuss it, like, just let me just talk about the parts as my reading experience first. So the first part, I do not even remember. What was the point of the first part? Like, nothing happened. Like, this book, like, literally nothing happened. It's so big and nothing happened. That annoyed me. Like, literally, what was the plot? But the first part, man, I don't even, like, what? It just talks about how Liesel's such a pushover and her family hates her and she's like, wants to play music but she can't because she's a woman, and there's a Goblin King. That's the first 100 pages, literally. Then the second part was a bit more interesting. There was a goblin party dancing. Her sister was being taken. She's chilling. She's drinking. The goblins are all there. Next minute, she's like, oh, I gotta marry the Goblin King. Okay, let's do this. The third part, right, is literally, I will tell you guys, this is what I was thinking throughout the whole part, is I watched this video on Facebook a little while ago where it was these two birds, right? You got the female and the male's trying to do a mating dance, and they voiced over the male saying, let me smash. And it made me laugh so hard watching that video. And so literally, this whole book, I'm seeing Liesel just sitting there going, let me smash. Let me smash, and he's just like, no bitch, and it's like, let me smash, and he's like, no, and I just couldn't get the image of the bird out of my mind, and it just reminds me of Liesel, because he's like, they got married, and she's like, don't you want to sleep with me, and he's like, no, not right now, and she's like, what, do it, take it, and I'm just like, my god, mate, you are so young, you are not ready for this, and then it happens, and she's so like, oh my god, I'm a woman now, and I'm just like, no, you know it. I just, And then the fourth part was just them sort of being in love. Like, the insta-love was real. It was real in this book. Like, the hell was that amount of insta-love needed? We really got to fall in love here in the fourth part. And then Lisa's like, okay, it's time for me to leave. Okay. And I'm just like, she's like, she was taken to be sacrificed to make sure that spring came, but now suddenly she's just fine to go. She's fine to leave. I'm still holding this, my hand's hurting, but like, she's just fine to go. Like, the goblins won't be released and everything's not gonna, like, it's like, was it even true that she needed to be there for all this shit when it's like, that's the fourth part. And then there's gonna be another book that I want to really read because I really want to see the outcome of this story, but it was just like, so what happened besides her being horny this whole book? Like, literally, that is all I feel with this book. And I gotta say though, I did like it. It's like a very average 3-star read for me, like an average read, because the world building was done very, very well. Like, I felt like I was walking along in the labyrinth of the Goblin King, and there's the ice and the snow, and the goblin description was done very well, and the character descriptions were done very well, and the writing was beautiful, and it had the right amount of metaphors and description and everything. So that was really well done. So I was just there like, oh, whimsical book, magicalness, and I loved that. It's just the fucking Liesel and her horniness and her plot and her story. She is just a pushover, and she makes really weird decisions. Like, she's got that trope going where it's like characters make decisions so unlike themselves that you're like, what? are you doing? Like, seriously, I am just, I don't. And I am just, and you know what? She's obviously got the stereotypical sister who's likes to be all pretty and fashionable and showing her body off to men. And then you got the little brother who's a scared little runt, and she got her, and she's just chilling. And I'm just like, I just have so many feels that I can't even release them because I just can't. This book, though. This book. But yes, Liesl, main issue of this book for me is she's irritable, she is childish, she doesn't understand, she doesn't even know what she's doing, and she's like, this book's meant to be about music, and she like hated her music for so long, and then she started playing music, and I'm just like, it's just, I can't. The Goblin King, though, my friends who I read this book didn't really like him, and I'm just like, damn, I love characters like him. Like, this just a character that comes in there and they feel like they're evil, and then you find out they have this secret story that resolves everything. I mean, not really, but like they have this thing that happens, and then it's like, this is why they've become the way they are, and this is how they resolve it, and then they become happy, and then they're happy ever after. And I'm just like, that's just my thing. I love that so much, and it's like the Goblin King's like that too, because I mean, we still don't actually know if he's good or not, because I mean, I don't trust the dude, but I love him. He reminds me so much of the Darkling, except mate, Darkling is an enemy of the greatest shit ever. So I just, the feels of all these, like, oh god. Something though with the Goblin thing that I don't understand is he been the Goblin King the whole time? Or is he like, or is it like a different Goblin King? Or is the Goblin King even immortal? Because there was that stuff with all the portraits. But then it's got the idea of the Goblin King being like, he is a man, but then he's got like a bipolar split personality thing going on, because he acts like a Goblin King, and the dare, like, they have a title for him, so it's like he will always be like, there will always be but he hasn't always been the Goblin King. So I'm just kind of like, has he been in there long, or is he like sacrificed himself? Like, who's the original Goblin King? Does that mean that you can, like, the Goblin King can be a new person? Is that where the second book's gonna go? Is they gonna get some new dude to be the Goblin King? And I'm just like, I don't understand. Like, this is the plot hole of the century for me. Like, is he being the Goblin King the whole time, or is that not how it goes? Or I just can't. I can't. What the fuck? I don't understand. Can someone explain this to me? If you've read the book, comment down below and tell me. Has he been the Goblin King the whole time? We couldn't figure it out, because I'm just stupid. And like, he didn't really do much for play besides play the violin. Like, where was the Goblin King? It was just, he's just trolling around. He's like, yep, these are my goblins, this is your bedroom, this is my wife, this is shit, this is what the people that. And then next minute he's like, okay, boo, I love you so much, so you can go away. And this whole thing where he's like, you're ugly, but I love you. And I'm just like, you're trying to bring out the trope of not having the stereotypical beautiful girl who they're always like, I'm so plain because I'm so ugly, and I have blonde hair and blue eyes and pretty face and nice skin. And I'm like, that means you're fucking beautiful. And then Liesl's there like, I'm ugly. And he's like, yeah, you are. And I'm just like, yes, this is good. It's actually an example, but I just think it's funny how he had all these hot ones, and he's like, but they weren't as good as you, love. And I'm just like, ugh. It's just, my thoughts are all over the place, guys. I'm sorry, but it's like, I hated it, but I loved it, and I just have such split issues with this book. Something I really like though is her brother though, Josel, or Sephir. He's got like 6 names, this kid, but he's like a goblin changeling. Like, she made a wish to make him alive, and then he's now alive, but now the goblins want to take him back, so I'm really interested to see that. And also another thing this book did was put in like that little layer of diversity, with Josel being gay, and he's in love with this other boy who is a black kid, and they're in love, and I'm just like, it just felt like it was thrown in there, and it didn't need to be, because this book is set in olden times, and like, yes, diversity is a good thing, but like, not every book needs to have it. So sometimes it just doesn't really work to the whole plot or the story or the way the world is in this book. So I was kind of like, you've added it, but it just didn't really work in my feeling of this book. But I'm excited to see more about the changeling thing, because obviously in the second book Liesl will go back for the Goblin King, but is it more going to be that she doesn't go back for the Goblin King at all, but because Josel has been taken, she goes there to get him, and then she's like, oh hey Goblin King, I'm back, and he's like, bitch, the fuck you doing here? I told you to leave and you're here. And she's like, blah, I'm trying to save my brother, you took, and just, I just feel there's going to be a new Goblin King, or she's going to become the Goblin King, or she was a Goblin Queen, and then shit's gone down, and I'm just like, ugh. It's just, books when you only have 2 characters for most of the book can get very shitty and slow and boring, and the plot just goes weird. So it's kind of like, it was so slow, and then it was like, hey, let's just make the plot confusing as fuck to add some element to this book. And I'm like, it really made you want to read this. My parents are home. Oh my god, my dog won't shut up. I'm so sorry. Sorry guys, I'm back. My parents just got home and I've got stuff going on out there. But anyway, these were my thoughts for Wintersong. My dog is still barking. I'm sorry. I'm trying to give it, like, say goodbye to you guys. But yes, my thoughts for Wintersong. I liked it, but it was pretty not as great as I thought. Like, it's a bit sad because it was kind of overhyped so much. But anyway guys, thanks for watching and I'll see you later. Bye.